Chapter 1. The Return to Silence. The Garden of the Stoics, a story set at the Pantheon on a summer day in ancient Greece. The day was bright beyond comfort. The stones of the Pantheon breathed heat, and every step struck a small cloud of dust from the marble floor. The sky above Athens seemed carved from fire, and in the hollow of that light, two men sat on the temple steps, silent at first, their robes drawn close to shield the sun. Lysandros was the elder. His eyes were narrow with years of reflection, but the corners of his mouth held the kind of peace that comes only from long struggle. Beside him sat Marios, younger, restless, his gaze darting between the columns as though answers might be hidden in the shadows they cast. For a time they said nothing. The air shimmered, cicadas cried in the olive trees beyond. The stillness felt sacred. Marios finally spoke. "Tell me, Lysandros, do you ever tire of seeking truth? I have walked from city to city, listened to teachers and priests, and yet my soul is as parched as the stones beneath us." Lysandros turned his head slowly. "The thirst is the proof that water exists," he said. "It is not wrong to seek. It is wrong to believe that the well lies somewhere else. What you are chasing is not in the distance. It sits quietly where you are." Marios looked down at his hands, still dusted with the journey's white chalk. "If it sits where I am, then why can I not feel it?" "Because," the old man said, "you do not yet know how to be still. You travel not to find the truth, but to escape yourself. Sit long enough in silence, and the voice you call the gods will begin to sound like your own." The young man's brow furrowed. He wanted to argue, to defend the passion that had driven him across mountains, but something in the heat or the weight of the elder's calm kept him quiet. A breeze moved between the pillars. Dust spiraled. Sunlight broke into 1,000 tiny particles, and for a moment, even the air seemed to pause and listen. Lysandros spoke again, more softly this time. "Enlightenment is not a flame that descends, it is a curtain that lifts. The room was always bright. You were simply looking with closed eyes." The words sank like water into dry soil. Marios exhaled and rubbed the sweat from his neck. "I have always imagined wisdom to be something earned through pain, through sacrifice, through the harsh schooling of fate." The elder smiled faintly. "Pain is the tutor, not the degree. When you are cut by life, you do not learn to love the blade, you learn to walk with care. Wisdom is not earned, it is revealed when the noise fades." Below them, the city murmured, merchants calling, children laughing, the distant clatter of amphorae on stone. Lysandros pointed toward the bustle. "Look there," he said. "They chase silver, they chase praise, they chase one another, but none of them chase themselves, and so they remain strangers in their own houses." "Then what must a man chase, if not himself?" asked Marios. "Understanding," replied Lysandros, "not of books nor of laws, but of his own heart. When you know why you act, you are free. When you do not, you are a puppet pulled by invisible threads. Marios nodded slowly. And if the truth I find in myself is ugly, then you will have found the right door, said the old man. Only what is seen can be shaped. Pretending to be pure keeps a man sick. The sun climbed higher. The temple stones shimmered like metal. They moved inside the portico, where the columns gave a brief mercy of shade. Mario sat cross-legged, staring at the cracked mosaic at his feet. He traced a broken piece of marble with his finger. "This pattern," he said, "is imperfect, yet from afar it seems whole." Lysandros leaned on his knee and looked down. So it is with the soul. From a distance, all men look complete. Come closer, and you see the cracks. But the gods, I think, see from afar. Perhaps that is mercy. A smile touched Marios's lips for the first time that day. "You always make the pain sound gentle." "It is gentle," Lysandros replied. "It is the hand that shapes you. What feels like breaking is often the making of the vessel." A group of travelers passed them, bowing briefly before the altar and moving on. The noise of their sandals faded down the hill. Silence settled again. The old man closed his eyes. "When I was your age," he said, "I believed enlightenment would make me different, wiser, holier, untouchable. But it did not. It made me ordinary, and in that ordinariness, free." "How can one be free in ordinariness?" asked Marios. "Because nothing more is required. You stop trying to be someone, you simply are. The chase ends, and in its place comes a kind of quiet joy." Marios looked toward the city once more. Below, he could see the agora filled with color and motion. "Sometimes," he whispered, "I wish to leave it all behind." "Then do," said Lysandros. "But remember, peace will follow you only if you carry it yourself." The light shifted, turning the marble gold. Sweat glistened on their skin, but neither moved. In the silence, Marios felt the faint stirring of something new, a space opening within him like air entering a sealed room. He did not yet call it peace, but it was near. The elder broke the stillness once more. "Do you see, Marios? The sun teaches without words. It gives, it burns, it endures. If a man can live like the sun, steady, generous, and self-contained, he will not need enlightenment. He will be it." And for the first time, Marios understood what the old man meant by stillness. It was not sitting, it was being present. It was the strength to remain where you are and let the world move around you without taking you from yourself. They stayed there until evening. When the shadows of the columns stretched long across the steps, Lysandros rose slowly and offered his hand. Marios took it, his eyes bright but calm. "Where will you go now?" asked the younger man. "Nowhere," said the elder. "Everywhere." The answer puzzled him, but the smile it carried stayed with him long after. And as they descended from the temple, the heat eased, and the breeze off the hills carried the scent of olive and stone. Marius turned one last time to look at the Pantheon glowing in the fading light. The city below was still alive, still noisy, still the same, only he was different, lighter, as if something had quietly unbound inside him. Years have passed since that day, and I have seen many men speak of enlightenment as though it were a crown. But I remember those two figures on the temple steps, their sweat, their silence, their laughter, and I know that truth is not found in golden halls. It is found wherever a man learns to sit in the heat of his own thoughts and still be kind. If wisdom still whispers in your heart, stay a while and subscribe for more tales of the old Stoic.